Hey there, y'all. It's me, your girl, and it's been a minute since I talked to y'all. It's been about a week, a little bit longer, almost close to 2 weeks. Anyways, yes, I've been going through this relationship healing process, and not just from one relationship, but many relationships. And I'm gonna say in my disclaimer, like I said the last time, when I speak about these relationships that I've been in, I'm not trying to say these men are bad people. They just weren't good people to me. But I'm just gonna, you know, but yet these are my experiences. So I've just been going through the healing process. It's been some good days and bad days because then you have to really begin to look at yourself on a lot of things. But I'm thankful that um, God is just, He is a healer. And if you just allow Him to heal you, He can. And of course, as well, time is the best remedy, even though time is not like really your best friend. But nevertheless, time. So today, I felt like I should just go into um, the diary of bad relationships. And so I've had enough bad ones to know bad ones. Um, Interesting thing. So, I'm definitely a proponent and I definitely encourage people to speak, you know, tell that person whatever it is that they did to you. Definitely a proponent of speaking it and putting it out there. One, because when you put it out there, then you get it off of you, and then you're doing that for yourself. Two, when you put it out there, then you also putting it out there, and it's going on record. I can't really say it's like a unspoken record, but it's going on record that you said what you said. So when people get to reaping and they get to sowing, or what would be considered karma, they'll know why. They won't be bewildered. They'll know why. So I say all that to say that here's bad relationships. One on one, I should say, or one. Um, I was in a relationship here not too long ago, and I'm not even talking about um, the Sergeant Slaughter. I'm talking about someone else. And you know, it was like after dating Sergeant Slaughter, that's when I had really went through this. Okay, and a friend. Well, needless to say, I'm not even gonna call her that because after today's events, it's just anyways. A friend introduced me to this person, and I knew I didn't want to talk to him just because I felt like I needed to really detox myself from these bad relationships and these men. But against my better judgment, I ended up talking to him, and don't get me wrong, he was a decent dude. She definitely felt like he and I would mesh together because we kind of had the same experiences. And, as I talked to him and heard some of the things he said, it was definitely similar to some of the things I experienced. However, one thing I think is very important, which everyone will say when you're talking about relationships, that communication is the key. Communication is important. If two people cannot communicate with each other, there is no relationship. And so I met this guy, talked to him. He seemed pretty cool. Hung out with him. Flew to this place because he had a job where he just kind of had to be, traveling here and there. So flew and met him. When I met him, I was like, ugh, I don't know. But, after I hung out and I was like, well, let me just see how it goes. And I remember telling the person that introduced us, oh, I don't know, I'm not really, I don't know if I really want to talk to her. I just feel like I need detox. And she was just like, look, I'm telling you to do this because it'll help you get over, this, that, and the other. It was like, okay. And she was like, it ain't like you guys got to get married or be best friends. I just, just talk to him, get to know him. So, okay. Then I met him again a third time, or excuse me, a second time on like a little date or whatever. And, it was like, I began to really see like, I think I like this dude, I think, he's representing what he's saying he is. Now, the funny thing about that is, after I had already made up in my mind that I just did not want to have sex with anyone, because I felt like I didn't want to have sex until I was married, and I didn't want to do that because I felt like that I didn't, like I was tired of giving myself to, again, bad relationships, and I just wanted to wait and we'll see. And so I brought that to this guy's attention. We gonna call him, me and one of my friends call him Nola, but then, someone else called him, and it's not saying his name, but they called him Latrice, because he act like, he kind of was a little girly, and he is, but nevertheless. So, I told him that I didn't want to have sex until I was married. And I remember I talked to the girl that introduced us, and she was just like, no, just tell him, and but you have to understand that's your decision. That's not a decision that he may want to, accept and may choose to walk away. And I said, that you're right, and he has the right to do that. So I spoke to him about it the next day, and I told him how I felt and everything. And he had to get off the phone with me, because I was like, because what I said to him was, I understand. He's like, what if I don't agree with that? But that's your decision. Okay, well, here's the deal. I'm not going to force you to stay with me, and because it is my decision, then you have the right to walk away. Now, do I want you to? No. Will I be hurt by it? Yes, I will, but I'll also get over it. So this dude got off the phone, and later on when I talked to him, he was like, I was hurt because, you just gonna say you'll get over it. We, like I wasn't nothing. And I said, well, what, we ain't even been together that long for you to be feeling some type of way, because I would say I would get over it. And eventually I would. So like, why were you, because he was like, I cried about it. Why were you crying? You're not the gatekeeper of my JJ. I am. So what are you crying for, right? So anyways, we got past that and everything. And then we went on to, I was supposed to go and visit him again, third time. And so, but before I was coming down there, this guy kept falling asleep on me on the phone. And so I remember I saying, like, babe, go ahead and go to sleep. I know you're tired. No, I want to listen to you. Babe. Okay, so I'm talking. Now, I gave him, like, ample chances to go ahead and get off the phone, but he didn't want to. So I'm talking to him, and dude literally is falling asleep. I can hear him snoring. So I said, well, I kept saying, Latrice, what are, and so he was like, he said, I said, did you hear what I said? Because he finally woke up and he was like, yeah, you said, no, that is not what I said. I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I said, because at that point I was pulling up at home. So I was like, I got groceries to put in. I still got to do some, extra stuff as a single mom would have to do. And then I'm going to go to bed, so I won't be calling you back. And so he was like, he said, Sharday. And so I was like, he was like, I feel like you kind of got an attitude or feel some type of way, but I'm going to go ahead and let you get phone. All right. Have a good night. Click. So he said bye. I said bye. Y'all, I kid you not. This dude then was calling me, but by then I was having groceries and loading them in the house and stuff. And so I didn't get a chance to answer. And I kind of got busy with helping my daughter with something and just, the woes of a trials and tribulations of a single parent, okay? So he sends me a text, which I didn't see until like 11 o'clock at night. And so the text was like, I've asked you to treat me with respect, and you still keep doing the same thing and disrespecting me. Please stop. Y'all, on Everything I Love, Ms. Williams was hot as a firecracker, okay? And so I went to call him, but he didn't answer. So I thought, that's all right. I'm going to wait until the next day. So the next day came, and I said, you know, you sent this text message, and I'm kind of confused as to where I disrespected you. I not treated you with respect. I said, you were falling asleep on me on the phone, and then I'm telling you all the stuff that I have to do because I was pulling at home, and then I still had to take a shower and was getting up the next morning to go, I think I was going to go to church. So where is it that you felt like I was disrespecting you? I asked him. And so he was like, well, I just felt like, you know, the way you got a phone. So you were mad because I hung up with you, but nothing that I said was where I was disrespecting you, right? Well, no, but, oh, okay. I said, you know what? Here's the deal. You can't keep talking about how I'm disrespecting you and how I'm treating you just because you don't like something that is being said to you. And I said, so man, you know, I hope you can change up that whole little tune. So, you know, we got past that or whatever, but at that point I felt like, okay, no, I don't know if this is going to work. So then I went and saw him, and I hung out with him down there in New Orleans, NOLA. And this dude was just, I told him what I wanted to do and everything. And, you know, we had to wait for him because he had to take care of something, get his hair cut. So then all of a sudden now you want to rush me. We're waiting an additional, I think I got a mani and a pedi, and then I had to wait an additional 2.5 hours for him to get his hair cut. And that was frustrating to me. And I was like, well, why? And so then at that point, once he was done, then now you want to rush me. And I had already told him like I needed to go and get something in the mall. So he's rushing me, and I said, look, I don't understand why you didn't get your hair cut when you was down in the other place he was at for like 3-4 days with his cousin. He was like, Shantae, let me tell you about guys. And I'm serious, like, this is how he sounds, y'all. Guys want to get a fresh haircut. So he was all like this. He was like this. He was sitting there, and his whole demeanor was like, Shantae, let me tell you about guys. We like to get a fresh haircut. Okay, when we have something, a fresh haircut. And so I said, okay. So then if that be the case, then you don't rush me. Since you want to do that, then you don't turn around and rush me after we done waited for you. So he then said, I ain't going to say nothing. I said, no. We're not going to do that. I said, because see, if you hold that up, hold back, and don't say nothing to me, and then you claiming that it's going to blow up later, I promise you, you ain't going to like what's going to be the response that comes out of that, okay? So that was that. So then later on in the night, he became a little irritating to me. And so he said, because there are certain things that he was just doing in that. And so he goes, you seem frustrated. And I said, well, I am. I'm a little frustrated with you. Then here you go again. Shantae, you know I don't like confrontation. And at that point, y'all, that was like, yep, I'm good. All the way good. Because, see, that means you don't know how to communicate. And to go to a place where you feel like me telling you that I'm frustrated after you asked me what was wrong, and then you say I'm being confrontational, we ain't got nothing else to talk about. So, for me, I was good. Now, the next day, he had, I went downstairs and went across the street. We was at a hotel, and I walked to the little corner market, and he and so I came back in, got me something to eat, and I was on the phone with my friend. So then he comes downstairs, he's telling me, he had to go see his kids and stuff like that. And I was just like, okay, and he then and I'm on the phone with my friend, and then he said, what's wrong? What's wrong? I was like, I'm nothing. I'm good. Because y'all, wasn't nothing wrong. I was good. That's saying that Maya Angelou says, when people show you who they are, believe them. And so at this point, because I feel like I'm like maturing in like these bad relationships, he had showed me there was nothing else for me to see. So I wasn't gonna argue about nothing or go back and forth with him about nothing. So then he said, all right. Then this dude goes upstairs and then sends me a text message like a girl putting on her lip gloss in the mirror. Okay? And I didn't even respond because it was just foolishness. Oh, do you want to be in this relationship? I don't know what this relationship is becoming. And so then I didn't even respond. I still sat on the phone with my friend. Then he calls me. Okay? Then he asked me, did I get his message? I said, yes, I did. So you weren't even going to respond? Respond to what? The foolishness? I'm not, look. He asked me, did I want to bring a relationship? Now, right then and there, I should have said no, but I didn't. I was a little coward about it. But I told him, look, if you're going to be sending me text messages instead of communicating with me, then no, this ain't no relationship that I want to be in. Period. Okay? And so we talked it through, and I told him, you need to take accountability for some of the stuff that you do. Quit putting it all off on me like it's all me and my fault. It's not. So, that was that. And I was just at a point where I'm good, and that's just where I was at. But I knew once I got back home, I was good. So at any rate, we get back home, he be all up in his feelings because I talked to him, and then I wouldn't call him back because I got distracted. So then the next day I got to hear, oh, well, why didn't you call me back? And so then I'm explaining, well, I had to do this and I had to do that. And look, y'all, I'm a single parent. And so I just don't have myself to take care of. I have like 2 other people, where this dude had himself and couldn't even call me. So then he wanted to say, I said, well, you can call me. Well, I don't want to call you because every time I call you, you don't answer the phone. Okay. All right. So then I ended up getting off the phone with him because my youngest daughter was sick, and then there was some other stuff that was going on. So I got off the phone. I was supposed to call him back, but I didn't because I got busy, and then I got distracted. So the next day he brings it up and says, why didn't I call him? And I say, well, my daughter was sick, and then I had this going on. And I said, but why didn't you call me? Clearly I must have forgot or I got distracted, so why didn't you call me? Well, I told you I don't call you because every time I call you, you don't answer the phone. I said, that is not a justification. I've called you and you haven't answered the phone either. So then he said he had nothing to say. So we sat on the phone for like 5 minutes. And he ain't got nothing to say. So then I said, well, if you ain't got nothing to say, I said, oh, hello? No, that's what I said. I said, hello? Are you gonna talk? Oh, I told you I ain't got nothing to say. Okay, well, if you ain't got nothing to say, you go on and have you a good day and goodbye. I'm cutting off the phone. So I hung up the phone. He said bye too. This dude calls me back. At this point, I'm like, if you didn't have nothing to say a minute to 30 seconds ago, you ain't got nothing to say now. Then he sent me a text message. And he just don't know what he did, but he was like, you ain't got to call me no more. I'll be single. Now, y'all, what I should have did was sent the emoji of the clapping hands. I should have said, yay. And, oh, man, thank you. Took a load off. That's what I should have said, but I didn't. I just went silent. But then he turns around and he calls my daughter and talks about me to my daughter. So, okay. No, it's fine. Whatever. So, in my videos, I talk about, one of the videos I talked about, saying what you need to say for the healing. Even when I started this one, I did. So, literally, it's only been like a month, almost 2 months that he and I were not talking. So, but I felt impressed to like send him an email, and it basically was telling him that, I thanked him for breaking up for me because I really didn't have the courage to do it. And back in and I was ready to do it after I returned back from New Orleans, but I just didn't have the courage. So I thanked him for having the courage. I thanked him, for doing what he did. And then I addressed the fact that, he was, you just didn't understand me being a woman and the relationships I've been in, and even, being a single parent, raising kids, you weren't understanding, and kept, coming for me in regards to why didn't I call you and everything like that. And I just said, but you showed me who you are, and thank you. And, basically thank him for that too. And I just said, but what you showed me is you're not what God has designed for me. And I wish you nothing but the best in life and relationships. God bless. Y'all, let me tell you what this girl did, okay? And he's a girl, okay? He has on Victoria's Secrets instead of some briefs, okay? He has on the thong Victoria's Secrets. Thank you very much. Or better yet, he has on like the panties that don't show a line. He had those on. And so this dude has this girl, I guess it's his chick, I don't know, email me. Okay? And so I'm like, really? And she's like, I asked Latrice to let me to not to respond to you, but now I'm gonna respond. And as a woman, I understand being hurt and disappointed, but you have to move on with life, and he wants to proceed on in a peaceful manner. So my response then was, first, my relationship was with him, not with you, so I'm not even sure why you're even responding. Second, I'm not hurt nor disappointed, and you saying that you're a woman, man, you're not the best woman, because now you're sounding real silly to be responding to this man in the email when the relationship had nothing to do with you, interjecting yourself in something that had nothing to do with you. And let me say this is a caveat on the side. If you are in a relationship with a man or with a woman, don't ever go to the ex, whoever they may be, and address them. That's not your fight. Only time you address them is when they call you out for something, okay? Outside of that, you don't need to address them at all, because you didn't have a relationship with that person. And it shows your level of weakness, and, that you're a coward into handling business with people, or just dealing with issues with people. So if you weren't in that relationship, you really should keep your 2 cents out. Really. Okay? Unless you got the wife or husband status. That's the only time. Outside of that, you shouldn't really be saying that. And in this instance, she shouldn't need at all. So, and then I said to him, and then point 3 was, I said, Latrice, you need to grow up and quit hiding, basically using this chick. So that was that. This woman responds back, y'all. Some email. I ain't even read it. I still haven't read it to this day. I couldn't even tell you what she said, but I know what I said. And I said, man, I haven't even read your email. But what you're beginning to show is your level of silliness that the Bible talks about when it speaks of silly women. For you to even be bothering yourself with this is crazy. But I said, you and him deserve each other with this level of silliness. I say you have the level of silliness like the Bible talks about in silly women, and then Latrice has the level of foolishness that the Bible speaks about in regards to men. Man, I wish you nothing but the best. Girl, God bless. God bless. God bless. She sends another email, y'all. And she says something. I don't even read that. So then I say again, man, girl, God bless you. You know what I mean? Like, God bless you. She was just, she just kept on sending these emails and trying to say something. And again, y'all, I wasn't even reading them because, I know I told her, I was like, you know what? I haven't read any of your emails, but again, I am not, the Bible talks about not casting your pearls amongst swine. And clearly that is the situation that I'm in right now. So, I mean, I wish you nothing but the best, and God bless. Girl, God bless. And so then, you know, and I sit through the scripture talking about casting my pearls among swine, Matthew 7:6. And I told her, I said, and Latrice is no prize, nor am I fighting for him. But, you know, keep on showing your silliness, girl. And he's showing his. God bless, right? So then she sends out another email. I didn't even read that one. Then she sends out another one. I didn't read that. Now, he CC'd on all these. Finally, I just sent out a prayer. And I was like, y'all. I was like, Father God, I come before you as humble as I know how. And I just pray for her. I pray for, you know, her not to be so trashy, but to be classy and to be the woman God has called her to be instead of being what the devil has made her to be and when she's fell into his trick. And then I was like, you know, and help her to understand and study to be quiet and tend to thine own business because she should not have injected herself into anything that I was talking about. And you know, and I just was like, Lord, wrap your arms around her. Let her know you love her. You know, let her know you think good of her. Jeremiah 29:11. Amen. And then I prayed for him and asked God to help him to mature in a man and be one and not exemplify this messiness that he, you know, showed. So these are like my, you know, things that I experienced in these bad relationships, y'all. And so, you know, and then I was like, you know, help me pray for my enemies, you know, because the Bible does say pray for your enemies. And so, and he wasn't an enemy to me, but I mean, you're trying to be that way. And then you got this girl, so you're trying to be that. And it's okay, you know. So that's what I said. Y'all, this dude came out and gets the cussing me out, calling me all out my name. Talking about I missed out on a good man and now I'm mad and I don't know, I missed out on a good man. That's what he said. And I had my chance. And I'm thinking, I didn't want you. I told you I was one to break up with you. Like, what are we doing here? And I had my chance. And he's, you know, just talking crazy and then going to tell me to take care of my effing kids. Okay? So you done brought my kids up in a situation. I didn't bring up none of yours. And you got plenty of them that I could talk about. But again, y'all, God is calling us, definitely me, to a higher place. So I ain't going to do that, right? So then I just say, and my point has been proved. And thank you. Bless those that curse you. Luke 6:8. And then I say, have a great life. God bless. Then this dude gets to talking about, and I said, oh, and I did tell him that you ain't nobody mad but you and the devil. So then he said, I ain't mad. I'm just defending myself. You mad because I'm trying to do better. Again, y'all, who's mad about it? I was ready to break up with you. So I don't know what you think your better is. And if you think this woman that you're with is better, I promise you, you're fooling yourself and everybody that has to. You're fooling yourself because you ain't fooling me. So I would say a woman is better when she chooses not to enter in. You know, when women don't get involved in the other man's business that has nothing to do with you, you're not better. You're not better, especially since, in my case, the email was sent to him, not to her, but because he's so messy and girl-like, he sent it to her. So it's okay. And so he said, I'm defending myself and you just mad because I'm doing better and going and you need to go and find you a man. Let me help you out with something, y'all. A man is not a situation or a problem that I have in finding, okay? I don't have those problems, so I'm not worried about that. But, you know, he said all that and still cussing, still disrespecting me, talking crazy. Now, mind you, y'all, I ain't threw no jab at him as far as his kids, how many he got, none of that. I ain't even threw a jab at him that, you know, your name should be Latrice instead of what it really is. You know, I ain't did none of that. But you come from me and say, take care of my effing kids and all this other stuff, okay? And so at this point, he says all that. And so I just said, you know, ain't nobody mad but the devil and you. You proved my point and thank you. Man, God bless those that curse you. Luke 6:8. God bless. Have a great life. Then this dude's like, proved what point? Y'all, let me tell you something. It's time to go to bed. And so my response was, Jesus loves you and thank you. Bless those that curse you. Luke 6:8. Have a good night. Have a great life. And God bless. So I say all that to say, like, this is one of my bad relationships that it wasn't bad, but everybody is. And so I'm going to say this. Whatever your process is to get through what you need to get through and to help you to be a better person, I always encourage people to do that. However, I also encourage that know whatever the consequences are going to be, and in this case, the consequence was that him and this girl responded with a level of silliness, stupidity, foolishness, and a lot of ignorance. That was it. That was what they responded with. And again, I wish him the best. However, everything he said in regards to me and how disrespectful he was, I promise you, you reap what you sow. And, it's just interesting how things happen. However, in that situation, I was definitely thankful unto God that I was able to pull back from the situation, from being emotional in the situation and really see what it was. And let me tell y'all, which is what I told him, I'm so glad I didn't have sex with you. I'm so glad, because you shown me like, yeah, no. And I'm so glad I didn't. I'm so glad that I felt like it was important enough to keep myself. And so I'm glad I didn't do that. But it was just interesting. And, and then I'll say this. When you talk to other people, so like I met this guy through him. He and I have a mutual friend. And, right is right and wrong is wrong. And the thing about this person is that when I dated someone else that they knew, they could never call out what this person was doing to be wrong. They never called him out and said he was wrong in what he was doing. Never once. And so it is in this situation. Now, I felt like she was a friend. And one thing about friends, we should always be able to tell the truth to any and everyone. But that's not what was going on, and she couldn't do it. And when I asked her, like, does it sound like this dude is right for doing what he did? She couldn't even give an answer like, yeah, no, he's wrong. Because that's your homeboy. But if I was dating someone else, then you'd be done called it out and said, no, he's wrong. Don't even talk to him. This, that, and the other. Blah, 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 blah. So people show you, y'all. They really do. And I just say, like I said and been saying, believe them when they show you, because they are definitely showing you who they are. And so, I was just about doing this for me and getting what I needed to get out of it for me to be a better person. I wasn't doing it to get, and I didn't even anticipate him responding at all, let alone having some chick respond to me. But nevertheless, he did. So I just say, when you deal with this, people, we should not go ape crazy on them and get to going off on them when they start doing this stuff. You definitely have to have a clear head and say what you need to say. Now, I may have, put a little jabs in there, like my dad said, call him a yellow belly sap sucking duck without saying it. So I did. But I say that to say, like, don't play with the devil and what he's trying to do. The Bible says that the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And if he has an opportunity, he'll try and destroy everything about you and use people like, these individuals, especially the guy, to talk crazy to you and speak just ill. That is not becoming of a man that's trying to respect a woman, because I never came at him like that. But, and be careful of a woman that'll want to be with a guy that would, disrespect a woman like that, because you know, then that lets you know he'll do it to you. And it's okay. So, you know, I say all that to say that, you know, Latrice, Nola, you know, he showed himself. I did tell some of my friends, like, you know, and forgive me if y'all get offended, but I was like, that dude ain't nothing but a limp dick dude. That's all he is. And by him acting the way he did in these emails and having that girl, I know he is. Boy, you ain't standing up for nothing. And I literally mean that. Not the 2 legs or the 3rd leg you got. Ain't standing up no way. Okay? So, I just had to say that. Sorry if I offended. However, these are the diaries of the bad relationships, you know, and people that are not mature to handle it and look at themselves. Like, and that's what he told me, look at myself. And I promise you, y'all, I constantly look at myself. I constantly evaluate me and the things that I deal with and the people that I deal with and who I call a friend or not. I always look at to strive to better myself. And so I'm always going to encourage you guys to do the same thing, you know. Look at yourself. Set those boundaries, you know. These relationships that you've been in, the person is not a bad person. They just weren't a good person to you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just want to encourage everybody, like, you know, go through your process, and it's going to be rough, but it's your process. And in the end, you'll be better for it. So I hope you guys have a good night. Until the next time I talk to y'all. Bye-bye. Subscribe. You know, love. Send out these videos to other people. You know, I'm really about encouraging and helping people while I go through my process as well and get to the other side of through. Hope you have a good night. Stay safe from the COVID-19 because it's rampant. Bye.